to the Titan himself. In the red trunks, it is Kieras. Kieras actually came second in last week's tournament and only went down to Jibs, who right now Jibs is practically undefeated. So it's going to be quite interesting because Lava Bridge is a lot longer of a map, but it looks like already Kieras is deciding to go for a much more aggressive opening, whereas Yummy is going for a 6 expand. So 6 expand essentially will give you more of an economy boost. The 48-second one you're seeing here from Yummy is the fastest way to do it. But the problem is you struggle to keep any map control because you have no units out until about 3 minutes. And in the meantime, you're going to see Kieras go really quite aggressive with a barracks here really quite shortly. And then we're going to see him try and... he might be able to put pressure on and get past this tower that should be going up near the front of the base here. The way it works is you need a tower just to compensate for the lack of units. And hopefully we're going to see him actually get past, pick it apart, and that'll be really quite exciting. But if not, it will transition into a bit more of a macro game. But Kieras definitely just looking to take map control and control of this series, really. We have seen a lot of this sort of quick expand build coming out from players recently. And Yummy is going to scout this in just a second here. He's just going to come up to the natural. And he should panic a little bit when he sees this, because he knows he has to cut a few workers and grab his tower. And in fact, there's not really much more he needs. Okay, he's going to harass the worker. But it is going to come down to how well Yummy can defend this. He should be able to defend it fairly well, but he's then going to have to try and transition out of it. Kieras is bringing down 2 workers just to get rid of this annoying little harassment. I don't think Yummy's going to get a kill here, but it was cute. But that's indicative of Kieras possibly making a few mistakes here on this, right in the early of this game. Possibly nerves, but we will see. It's uncharacteristic of a player of his caliber to make that sort of mistake. But we're now going to see Kieras go out scouting on the map. And he has grabbed a rifleman first, so he may elect to pick off that worker, but the rally point says he's just going to go for the aggression. And really worrying right now is that YummyBlaBla only just starts his tower. This is going to be really quite worrying for him, because if he doesn't get it up in time, or if he gets harassed and delayed, the rifleman's going to get into his natural base. It's going to start taking down workers, and this could be a really bad game to start YummyBlaBla off. Is this going to be a best of 3 series? But that could just be 2 games if he doesn't properly defend this rifleman. The soldier's going to come in and probably just trade blows with the worker on the tower here. He's going to soften up the worker, ready for the rifleman to come pick it off. And he absolutely needs this tower up as soon as he possibly can. You can see Kieras' rifleman is closing in now, and as YummyBlaBla possibly with an absolutely devastating mistake here in his first game. He needs to get another worker on top of this tower because the rifleman is already here. YummyBlaBla now trying to retreat and save some of these workers, but Kieras already on top of it. He's already denied the tower. The tower's not going to go up yet. It will go up in a second, but possibly with too much damage. We're going to see Kieras' worker is going to get caught out, and no worker's going down just yet. The tower goes up and the rifleman will back off here. And Kieras does actually lose a worker for that, which he doesn't want in this first game. That's not a great start when your economy's behind. Or he might... no, he's not going to go for the worker pick. He might actually lose... oh, you don't want that. You don't want to lose your first rifleman out of the front there. And now YummyBlaBla is going to try and set up his own military, grab a house here, just at the front, and also to start a choke. I disagree with still using this vulnerable worker. I think that can get picked off, but... in the background, Kieras going for his own 3rd base here at about sort of 3.5 minutes is when he threw it down. And that's pretty much a textbook going to be barracks expand. And that's going to give him a lovely chunk of map control, which is really nice. YummyBlaBla actually just going to scout out, just going to see what's going on and possibly get round to his opponent's main. You can see Kieras lacking a little bit here on the sort of map vision and map control. You can see he does spot the worker, but probably wasn't paying that much attention to it. But Yummy's going to just be locked in his base right now. He's going to try and get some units out pretty shortly. And he's actually going to forge instead, so it's a little bit greedy. We'll see how that works out for him. You can see already YummyBlaBla's economy is going to be a bit better. He's got 15 workers to 12. As Kieras' economy will catch up in not too long. But this early chunk of gold is going to be helpful here from Yummy. And now you can see Kieras actually possibly looking to grab a third base off in the corner here, which would be quite surprising. And we'll see how that works out for him. He's not actually banking much gold yet, and Yummy just poking around. Doesn't look like the worker's going to die. And let's see, there's going to be +1 armor upgrades here from Yummy, so it's probably going to be a +2 on the soldier build, which should be quite nice. The problem is, that's going to take quite a while to really get stood up and really get going. Whereas Kieras, you can see, he's still pumping units, he's grabbing a third base. He doesn't really want to give his opponent in time, but he does actually let the scout go off, which is not what you want. And Yummy, upon seeing the third base, is gonna be sort of kicking himself a bit here for going for this greedy opening. This greedy opening is nice for taking a mid-game fight, but the pure volume of units that 3 bases is going to provide is going to be such a pain for Yummy to deal with. And it's a nice choice for Kieras here. I possibly disagree with the choice of third. It's up here in a slightly more vulnerable position because it can be attacked from here. Whereas this third on the right hand side is a lot easier to defend. But I guess he was just trying to hide it from his opponent, but that didn't really work out for him, which is a shame. You can see +2 armor is nearly done. You can see the first few soldiers starting to pop out here. But Kieras grabbing his own forge. It's going to be about 2 minutes behind. But I think his economy is just going to compensate for it. He can probably grab a second forge as well, and Yummy's advantage will just be moot. You can see Kieras actually getting a nice mix of riflemen soldiers just contained at the front here. And it's going to be triple racks going down from Yummy. And there we go, as I said, the double forge from Kieras just to catch up on upgrades. So the only real deficit for Kieras right now is, in a way, he's also playing really, really greedy. Normally you'll be going up to 2 barracks and then into a forge on 2 base. It tends to be pretty safe and actually allows you to sort of get the upgrade. And it's going to be 4 racks on 2 base here from Yummy. You can see he's grabbing a third base already and the double forge only on 1 barracks. So there's a good chance that with these 4 racks being built, if Yummy just pumps out units, takes a good fight, there is no way right now for Kieras to fight back. He has 1 barracks producing, and that's nowhere going to be nowhere near enough to fight back against what's coming. You can see he can't see the contain right now. He knows it's out there from where he's just been poking about. And it's a nice little concave, but it won't hold for too long. As YummyBlaBla just keeps pumping more units. +1 armor's already done here, and it looks like he might actually be going in to contest this. He's going to try and pick off a soldier at the front here, but there are more riflemen for his opponent. The soldier will go down, and it looks like the +1 armor is already going to kick into effect here, which is really nice for Yummy, but Kieras does have more units incoming. You can see Yummy's got 3 units on the production tab, so any trades here are going to work out great for him. But that does reveal the +1 upgrade that Yummy has already. As you can see, Kieras starting to throw down the barracks. He really needs to back this up. You can see Kieras' upgrades are still about a minute away, and it just leaves him no opportunity to really contest his battles. He's going to try, but he's going to trade inefficiently here, and that's not what you want when you're down on barracks units. You want to play defensive, get your army back up. And Yummy not really pushing his advantage at the moment. I think he's just trying to pick off this soldier at the front here so he can take this rifleman fight. But he has the larger army, the larger upgrades, and the production's going to start rolling. I think Kieras has actually just gone way too greedy right now. Despite his nice opening and doing a bit of damage to the workers, it wasn't enough for the amount of economy that Yummy got. and he could actually lose this first game here, which would be really nice sort of debut here from YummyBlaBla, as his first game to take down the second place player from last week's tournament. Is possibly going to strike fear into the heart of his opponents. We're getting an engagement here in the centre, but Kieras is going to back off. And Yummy now just pressing his advantage. Kieras knows he's on the back foot. He's trying desperately to pump out units, and there's another 2 barracks almost complete here. And the upgrade is going to finish in a second, but the production cycles are so far behind. He might hold by pulling some workers, but he's in an awful position right now. YummyBlaBla hasn't taken a third, which he needs to do. That is very late. There's no way he can contest this army when he's down in upgrade and down in army supply. And it looks like Yummy is just going to go for this third base and just start doing some crippling damage. As much as Yummy is down a base, he's made that up for that in the upgrades. And he's in possibly a little bit of a sketchy position. He's going to take some damage from the workers there. But you can see, workers are already on low health. They're going to start to take some damage. Yummy actually backing out, which I disagree with. He can take this fight here. There we go. Soldiers are going to go down. Yet more workers drop on the front here. That's possibly not the greatest focus fire you want here. You want the soldiers down. They are the DPS. And Yummy is going to back out. There's now even upgrades for both sides. You can see already, soldiers are coming in to back this up from the south side. This soldier's going to go down at the front. You can see, Kieras can't afford more upgrades, he just needs the units. He desperately needs the units. And right now, Kieras is just getting yet another upgrade, and way more units. He's getting 5 at once compared to 3. There's no way that Kieras can keep up with that. YummyBlaBla actually managing to pull him way out of position. These workers are going to be pushed off the third base here. Only for a little bit, but that is a nice little bonus there. And you can see, Kieras just doesn't have the gold to keep this going. He's going to sandwich these soldiers here, which is not a fight Kieras wants to take. Kieras has got a lot of riflemen in this, and his soldiers are going to get on top of his opponent's riflemen. But you can see, Yummy's going to just be dancing him around here, and that's just a really not a great position for Kieras. His soldiers are starting to go down here on the south side. The riflemen are already being attacked with soldiers, which is not where you want them. And you can see how great these upgrades are going just for Yummy here. And the next upgrade is going to complete in a second as more units pour across the map. This could be the end for Kieras' first game here in today's weekly tournament. All the riflemen are on low health, the soldiers are backing off. There we go, the +1 armor now +1 attack comes into completion. The third base going down in the background, and Kieras trapped in his natural base. Yummy goes in for the kill, and the soldiers try and get to the front line, so the riflemen are just going to carve them up straight away. There's nothing they can do. More workers go down as they desperately try and hold this. But there we go, there's no way the riflemen can take this. They're down in upgrades, they're down in numbers. They're backing off into the natural, but there's no tower to defend this. Yummy is going to march straight into the natural here. These soldiers are going to try and possibly hold this, make use of the high ground. But the workers in the natural are going to be forfeit. This barrack's going to go down. And you can see another 5 units on the way here for Yummy as they just pour across the map. More riflemen are going to get picked off. This is possibly a sketchy position here for Yummy. He doesn't want to actually take too much damage on these riflemen. So that kind of sucks for him. But he's done so much damage right now. Just to sort of the position of Kieras. As well as you can see, he's up such a massive amount of army. And Kieras is just going to have to find something to do. You can see he's going fully into soldiers now to try and combat this. But you can just see a stream of blue on the... Well, you can't see it that well on the minimap right now, but I can. And there we go. The soldiers are going to march forward and try and engage here. But Kieras is possibly going to lose yet more production. The soldiers step forward and the riflemen are going to step backwards a little bit. But the split's going to start to come in here. It's going to be +2/+1 versus +2/+1. So Yummy possibly lacking some soldiers from his army. He does want the meat at the front. But you can see how quickly all these soldiers are starting to go down now. Kieras is in real trouble. You can see he's actually getting a fort on his third base to try and defend that. But right now that's not where the pressure is. The pressure's on his natural. And he needs to work out some way of holding this, and it's not looking like there is one. This production facility, sorry, the barracks is going to go down in the front here. The